Okay. It looks like we are live all around. Um, it's waiting to upload video storage. I don't know what
Right.
that means. Let me check over here on YouTube to make sure we actually are live.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. We are. Oh, and it carried everything over from Rumble. Sweet. Um,
Cool.
so what we need to do now is test the chat. And everyone's going to have to ignore me
Good
while I take my
afternoon,
merry old
everybody.
time. But you can chat all you want.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. We are still messing around with our somewhat new system. Both of us are still, well, as we just put it a couple minutes ago, alive, or we're here. That's about it.
For the most part.
Yeah, I thought I was doing okay, and then all hell broke loose about an hour ago, and I am sick as all heck. Crazy Bee can barely move after her outing yesterday, but she got relatively good news, I think, that she'll be able to share. And
I'm
I,
holding off on some of it because I'm not 100% sure um,
mm,
on what I want to do yet with that info, or do I want to wait till I have more info?
right.
If that
But you
makes
like
any sense.
it does, but you liked the new doctor, didn't you?
Yes, I do like this new doctor because he is well on his way to wanting to actually get to the root problem, not
Mm-hmm.
the nonsensical I'm running you in circles stuff that I've been going through for the better part of my life.
And just throwing drugs at it and
Yes.
like
Um
treating the symptoms and not the actual root cause.
yes. And that's where I definitely have a touch of a struggle. So,
Right.
the fact that, we're getting that squared away and it's going to be easier, it's going to go better. I'm looking forward to it. We'll just say that.
Yeah. I like when you meet a doctor like that. I have a couple that are like that. I think that makes all the difference in the world. They really seem to give you some type of hope versus
Yes,
here's a drug, and just, take this for the rest of your life kind of thing. I think,
exactly.
hmm
I
yeah,
absolutely agree. And I'm going to have to
yeah,
move the chat over to my side because if I put it on your side, it's not going to show properly. Um,
okay.
so, but it still should
Where's
work
our doctor?
because if I put it on your side, it's hold on, I gotta. Going to. All right, no, that's a little too small. So let's do this, and that should make a difference. Um, yes, that's better in the live stream. The chat shows. So I'm looking at the live stream as I'm adjusting it on in the studio. So ignore me, folks. I'm sorry. I need to send out the we're live crap.
Okay. Now,
I apologize. Um, Go ahead, keep chatting. I have just getting everything together. You can
yeah,
ignore me.
it's okay. What was that error message that popped?
Oh, that's just complaining about the bandwidth. It'll straighten out in a minute. It
Okay.
does that. It does not really impact any of it. It's just yeah.
Yeah,
So
what I don't What I don't like about this crazy bee is all this infos.
What do you mean? You're seeing what I'm sharing right now because I'm sharing my screen. This is not showing to everybody. You're seeing the back end studio because of I'm sharing my entire screen, not what they're seeing. I promise you. Hold on. I just got to grab this last link. What they're seeing. I promise you. All right, let me mute that. Go back. Come back. Damn it, my hands hate me. Okay, there we are. Okay, now I can post these links out. And everyone can know we're live. Are you still there, Dee? Oh, Dee, are you still there? Uh-oh, I think we lost Dee. You muted yourself, Dee.
I don't know how. I don't have no clue how that happened because I didn't even go near it.
You
So
muted yourself, but I was
I know. I'm saying I didn't even go near the tablet.
It muted you. I don't. We're gonna blame ghosts as always.
Yeah, we're gonna skip that. But is there a delay that I'm hearing?
Yeah, you're gonna hear a lag if you're watching the live on any of the channels. Like if you're watching on YouTube or Rumble, there is going to be a lag, but there should not be a lag between us because we're in Discord, unless it's just a mild lag. That's because of internet in general.
Oh. Does the audience hear that delay?
They shouldn't.
Okay. Do we have anybody active right now in the chat?
No, because I just sent out the links to let everybody know we are live.
Okay.
So we'll start seeing people trickle in.
Okay.
Give me one moment while I minimize a few things, move a few things around, so I can maneuver. All right. There's what we need. Okay. Hold on. I wish that could pop out, but I can't pop it out, can I? No, I can't. So you should be. Oh my god, I hate my hands. Okay, we do have somebody else in Rumble. I need you to give me one moment while I jump to the next window and share all of our links.
Okay, so can the person in Rumble hear us right now?
Yes, they can hear us.
Okay, so whoever is in the Rumble chat, could you please let us know whether or not you hear us with a lag at all? Or are you hearing us just fine?
They're probably not going to notice a lag,
Okay.
but there is going to be a 5 or so second delay from the time we say it to the time they get it, and they wouldn't be able to notice that.
I'm not going to notice it.
Yeah, because they're not in the studio with us.
I see.
Okay. So, let me see. Oh, Vanilla Pie, we back? Hot mic? Yeah, we're here. It's not so much a hot mic. We're testing streaming from OBS directly instead of EvMux. And dum dum dum. Okay.
Hey, Vanilla. I hope you had a Gatorade today.
Let me double check something. Okay. All right. Yeah. Everything will be good. Um, when this chat will overlay part of the video and stuff, and any pinned messages will overlay at the bottom center of whatever we're playing. So
Great. Well, we'll mess with it as we go.
yep. You're unfortunately, unless you are in the Discord um chat. I mean Rumble. I'm sorry, Rumble chat. You won't be able to see the chats. But there is a way that you could, if you're not using your phone, you can use the Rumble chat there, and you would also be able to pin messages without me having to do it. If you want to use your phone and to look
But
at the chat,
are you
and
seeing them though?
oh, I see them, yeah, because I'm in both the Rumble Studio and OBS, so I am able to see them. But if you want to use a second device because you're not on a computer, so it's not like you can pull up a second window right next to you. Um,
Well, I
so
can on the. I actually can on the. What's it called? The tablet. But I'm going to go to my phone for right now.
and if you want, you can go into the Rumble video. You can mute it so it doesn't play back at us. And
Right.
you'll be able to do a pop out chat if you want. And you'll be able to see and read the chat. It'll make it a little bit bigger, I believe. But if
Right.
you're not able to, you can at least zoom it in a bit. And you'll be able to see the chat. And because you own that, I believe you'll be able to pin chats if you messages if you want to.
Okay.
And that should carry over to what I'm doing. But we're going to test that. So I'm going to need you to try to pin a message from where you are.
Oh, that's funny.
It's a lot of fun. I see Rex Sister says, "Hi, Crazy Bee." Are you able to pin it?
What do you want me to do to it? How to pin it?
Pin it, yes.
How do I do that?
I believe it's long press or the three dots at the end. Should give you
That's
the
what I
option to
thought.
pin it.
Yeah, but it.
Yes, I am
The long-
vaping. Sue me. Like I can do this from back here. Okay. Oh, do you have the Rumble Studio app on your phone?
You, you're killing me, Crazy Bee. You're
Just asking. I'm not saying you have to download it right now. I was just
I
asking.
I have it. I have it. You want me to go there instead?
Well, because you'll be in the back end of the studio.
Okay, hold on.
And all you got to do is possibly tap the message to pin it.
Right. That's what I'm. Yeah.
I'm trying to find a way to make it easier for you. And it's trial and error. Because I don't know how it works on Apple. Because I don't like Apple.
It's just not a good time right this second.
I know. You don't have to do it at the moment. I mean, like, as you can. I'm not trying to rush you. Just.
Okay, so I'm on the back end of Rumble, so I got to go to
where we're at streaming. It should be the you should be able to enter the studio. Enter the live stream thing. It should have like an enter button.
Oh, bear with me.
I very much am.
Nope.
It's not going to let you enter?
Nope.
Can you see
Now,
a chat?
Should I change? You know what? I might have to change the account.
Oh, if you're logged in under your personal and not the Rex Sisters, that could be why.
Okay, hold on. La
And
la
I'm
la
going to just
la.
tell the audience, suck it up. Sorry, we're trying to make this better as we go. Um,
Right.
so, yeah, trial and error. We've never gone live with OBS for Rex Sisters. I have for my gaming. So for my gaming, I'm absolutely smooth as pie with getting this together. Well, smooth as pudding. Pudding pie. There we go. Ice cream. All kinds of smooth stuff out there. So, but in this
So
circumstance, it's a little different.
okay, so it wants me to connect to the stream, the stream key.
You don't shouldn't need the stream key because you're in it.
Well,
You own the studio. You shouldn't need a stream key.
saying connected to the RTMP stream, and it wants the key.
Oh, that's
Then
for you to. Okay, hold on. I hold up. I might be able to help you with that.
one
Uh,
moment.
Let me
And
copy
by the way,
this.
nobody, yeah, if nobody heard, I am sick as all hell, spells and cockle
Mhm.
shell,
You're going to have to go
crazy.
into Discord for a moment, into our
Uh,
DMs,
okay,
and there is the key. You will just copy and paste it into
yes,
that
ma'am.
section.
Copy the text. Yes, ma'am. Go back to the Rumble Studio.
You shouldn't
Okay.
need it though, because that's weird. You watch,
Right,
it's going to
and
try to
now
bring you up as a guest, but it
it
shouldn't.
it successfully reset my stream key, and I still can't do anything as far as getting in or anything.
You should be able to see like the chat, the stream details.
Oh, ma'am, I don't see a thing.
That
Says no
is.
no live chat yet.
Um. Oh, I bet it's because you came in late. Give me 1 second. Did that pop up?
Yes, ma'am. Can you see this?
Okay. So now
Yeah.
try and pin it from there. Because this will save me a lot of headache. I won't have to pin it, per
And you're
se.
saying to long press it.
You might,
That
no,
says
not necessarily long press, but just tap. Or
okay.
if tap doesn't work, do a long press and see what it does.
That copies the message.
Nope. Um, there's a way to pin it from
Yeah,
that
there's
end.
no three. Yeah, there's no three dots.
Okay, and what about just a quick tap? Does that work?
Nope.
Huh. Okay, then I'll have to run it on this end until we can figure out how to make it work on your end.
Okay.
But it was worth trying. Absolutely worth trying. So, all right, well, at least we're in the right direction here, right?
So says Crazy Bee, but I don't know. I feel like I'm dying right now.
I know. I know. It does not help that you're not feeling good. I 100% get it. Um,
Going on days, and actually, we were to be on vacation last week, and I was not feeling well, but we had a little, well, it was kind of major, I guess, at the time. He's doing much better, but our dog is not doing well at all. So I stayed back with him and took care of him instead of going away with the family.
yeah.
And they went away for so many days, came back for 2 because the goats needed taken care of. And
Goats are fun
Then they
as long as they're not in the house.
right, and then they had to go back, and then they went back.
Mm-hmm.
And so they came home on what is today? They came home Sunday. No,
So
they
yeah.
came home Saturday for the my niece's wedding, to which I still wasn't able to go to due to illness. So I finally got to see the doctor yesterday, and we're going to do a 10-day antibiotic course and some other stuff, a lot of stuff actually.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a couple things for the audience. I am extremely disappointed that hardly that the majority of you did not listen to our pre-recorded sessions last week, and some of them were pretty damn funny. You missed out on a lot of good info. And Crazy Bee and I, we went as long as what 10:30 at night.
Yeah.
Did we?
Pre-recording.
Yeah, did we end or start at that time? I can't remember. One thing was funnier than another.
Yeah. And then, of course, some of the surprise stuff that popped up in the videos that we weren't expecting.
Uh-huh.
Oh my
Yes.
God. Yes. That
And
that I didn't find until editing. Like, what
uh-huh.
was that type of
Yeah,
stuff?
exactly. So, I mean, we spent all this time. We gave you the information that we would have content put up, and everybody was just like, well, nah, we don't have to listen to them. So I was rather disappointed that all that time and effort that we used to put out the content, nobody listened to, and I don't understand why. And with that being said, I have to be off to get some infusions done tomorrow and next Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, we have pre recorded content for both of those days done already. And so I'd appreciate it if everybody at least listened to part of it. And of course, give us a like, follow, subscribe, share, and make any comments that you would like. Right now, I'm in a mood, so that's only because I'm so sick right now. I could be in
Mm-hmm.
the hospital, but we're not going right now. Um, I don't know. We we just put a lot of work into it, and I would have hoped that we would have gotten at least we didn't even get
Double
what?
digits, except on YouTube. On YouTube, we had some double digits.
Yeah, but the double digits were low. I
Yeah.
mean, weren't I mean, yeah, we didn't even get what, 10%, 5% of what we normally put out, and we're not sure why, but we didn't.
Unless we have
And
like some bots that are randomly watching our live streams. I don't know.
yeah, we don't know about that. But I don't know. Just it was a big disappointment for me. And I hadn't expected for it to be I didn't want it to show or to really say too much about it, but I can't help myself because I'm sick and I'm dying, I think. I feel like I'm dying anyway. But uh if I do die, that would be a nice, what's the word? Going away present to to send me off wherever I'm going. You could go back and listen to last week's content that we spent so much time on, and it was so freaking funny. I mean, I called Crazy B up at 9:30, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Nothing." And I said, "Well, what do you think about this?" And we had already spent the majority of the day doing content, and she's like, "Are you crazy?" I'm like, "Well, what do you think?" To which led to some pretty funny stuff. So You guys missed out on a good week. We had, I think, one of our funnier weeks with our episodes, and
Vanilla
I
Pie
think,
adds, aren't we all dying? I mean, technically, just not on the speed level she is.
yeah, not right now. Yeah, it's yucky. Um, but I don't know. We had fun last week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the week before, and then it was even funnier because since I was at home, uh, I ended up working where Crazy Bee took off, and
Mm-hmm.
I left her with so much work to do that I felt guilty that I was like, oh, I think I'm going to have to try to help her to get this done.
Actually,
And
I'm
then I
already
went,
caught up with every video. It's
right,
already downloaded, edited, and ready to roll for the next couple weeks.
right. And I went, oh, wait a minute. She was off doing nothing and I was working. So I need to just, she said, you need to just stop and take some time off. So I did take time off, about a total of what, 14 hours in one sitting. I did absolutely nothing. No research. I didn't look at any news. I did absolutely nothing. And then I couldn't stand it anymore and was like, well, we're back. So
Well, just do that every
we have,
couple days and you'll get better at it.
right. And, but I was proud. Crazy Bee took the whole week off. So,
In Vanilla Pie, we saw the comments and that you were one of the many people, one of the few people that did go in and watch it. And we do appreciate that so much.
yes, we do. It meant a lot. And he should see that we commented back to him.
Yes, commented
Yeah,
back and liked his comments very much.
correct.
I do go
Yes.
into the comments in the evenings and stuff when I'm not really able to sleep. And I know Dee will jump
Mm-hmm.
into the comments as well. And
Mm-hmm.
we do reply and we do like comments and stuff like that very much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we try to not miss anybody. And if we do, feel free to bring it to our attention as we are not perfect.
Yes.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot, we're a two-woman show, so uh trying to keep track of everything and where everything is at can be a lot of work at one time. So,
Oh, Vanilla Pie says he saw that, that
okay,
we were
cool.
commenting back to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So,
So for people who want to maybe sit there and think, oh, they're just like everybody else, ignore the comments. No, we actually do read them. Unless you're one of those throwing a pitch like, hey, let me help you build your audience and for this much
mm-hmm.
money. Or, hey, I can help you customize your designs. Yeah, sorry, we're skipping that. We're broke.
Right. Yeah. Other than our, other than our one
Subscriber.
patron,
Well, again, some people may not be able to afford it, and I
that's
can accept
stand
that. I can't
right.
afford to support any of the people I would love to support.
Mm-hmm.
But I do the like and share to compensate.
Correct.
I'll
And that's why,
comment.
right. And that's why we ask you to do that. We recognize that you may not have the money, but it just takes a second to make a comment. And you don't realize that those comments and the like, and even a dislike,
Make a
uh,
difference.
make the difference. And it gets that algorithm, believe it or not. It moves the needle. And that's why we ask you to do that, because it does do something.
It helps a
Believe me.
lot more than you realize.
Hmm.
Even the
Hmm.
dislikes show that people are at least engaging in the video.
Right.
And
Yep.
so, very much like that. I'm all for it. Let's go.
Mm. I'm trying to think if did we come up with any new words last week? There were
Oh,
so many
yeah,
funny
we
things.
created the short with, what was it? Schwecking or Schwecking? Um, And there was another one, but it was in one we haven't posted yet. It's for this Wednesday or the next Wednesday that you're not going to be
Okay.
available. But it's
Okay.
in those videos. So watch going forward what's coming. And I know when the video comes out, I will tell you guys about the part I had to edit out because it was we're just getting ready. We're talking through the plan. It was recording, so we cut that part out. But I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. We had a very interesting extra voice pop up, and I will play the
Oh my
recording
God.
if you guys want me to, of this extra voice that decided to chime in through the mic. I comment, then people tell me to shut up, so there's that. Well, you're still allowed to comment, Art, by the way. I don't tell you to shut up, you know that. But, you're still entitled to your First Amendment rights, even if we don't agree.
I'd like to tell him to shut up, but I don't. So, you know.
We
And Art,
know everyone's entitled.
just teasing. I'm just teasing. I
Uh-oh. Did Dee mute herself again? Dee, you muted yourself.
No, you know what's happening is when a phone call comes in, it's automatically muting. That's what's happening.
Oh.
I just realized.
Okay.
Hold on one sec. I got to send a message, okay?
Yep, you go right ahead.
And I got to tell you what happened. You're never in the wildest dreams going to believe what went on today. So Leslie gets a phone call from camp, and my man Jacob gets hit hard. She does not ask where, but he gets hit hard by a kickball. I don't know what they were playing.
Mm-hmm.
He dropped the F-bomb 3 times.
I don't blame the kid. I
But
take it he
wait,
got into some trouble for it.
yeah. And he threw the 2 of them under the bus. He goes, well, I'm permitted to swear at home.
Good boy. Good boy. Put those parents out there.
He threw the 2 of them under the bus. It was
Oh, I love it. I love it.
so freaking, I was dying. So
Good for him.
I told Leslie that if EJ spanked him or whatever, that I was coming up the house and I was going to spank him.
Oh, good for you.
All he did when he was little. You know what I mean? I'm like, Jake finally stood up for himself. I would have preferred it to have been a little bit different, but
yeah, of course. But you know what? I'm proud of him.
Yeah, he finally had enough, and he would drop the F-bomb 3 times, and then but to go to them, and they're trying to Jacob. Now, why is it that you use this type of language? And he's like,
listen to my Nini's podcast.
Yeah, really, right?
That's what he should have done. Listen to my Nini's podcast. You'll know where my language comes from really quick.
Uh-huh. So that was freaking hysterical. I mean, finally, after, almost 9 years, he finally sticks up for himself. So, the next piece for him is going to be when he realizes the power that he holds in his fighting ability. Man, look out, whoever messes with him. And he had a lot of trouble on the bus last year.
I remember you telling me about it.
So much so that they had moved him to a different bus. And I think this will be
so instead of correcting the troublesome kids, they moved the victim.
Correct. Yeah.
Sounds about right. Sounds absolutely right with the way society's been going.
Right. And isn't that what happened when I was in the nursing home, right?
Yep.
Instead of correcting and moving Rosemary, right? I get moved. I
I
was
know.
like,
It's like,
they're
really?
like, pack your bag. Yep. They were like, pack your bag. You're out, you know? And I'm
It,
like,
it,
whoa, wait, where am I going?
well, and again, I was one of the last ones to not get expelled before they started suspending and expelling all people involved, including the victim. But I was one of the
Uh-huh.
last school fights in the state of Michigan before that law went into effect.
Wow.
I got by the skin of my teeth because it also happened to be my last school fight, and I did not get in trouble. I did not have any problems after that. But I'll tell you, I was remembered for that fight 2 years later. I think it was 2 or 3 years down the road. I was working at a fast food restaurant, and a former classmate's like, "Hey, aren't you the one who got into a fight with this person?" It's like, yeah.
Yep.
Art says allowable in response to certain situations. I'm going to kick Siri's butt now. I don't know how she screwed that up so bad. His original response is, at that point, I'm not holding the kid responsible. Cussing in an all allowable response is in certain situations. Yeah, she did mess that up pretty good. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't blame you. Good luck kicking an electronic AI things. But I wish you absolute luck. That's why I don't use them at all. I don't even use talk to text. I don't care how many typos I put in there. Um, I just am
Oh,
not that
I
bad.
have to. Yeah. I don't know why, but talk to text for me is a whole lot easier. But, there are times, and the majority of the time, I don't go back and read it, right? And especially if I have something long, and there's always something stupid in there.
Of
You know what I
course.
mean? Uh, just always something stupid. Like, just for example, the little bit we were doing back and forth today, and it came back as crazy beer, Beer, and I'm just like dying, like, okay, we're gonna start drinking today,
You
crazy.
Here's what we're doing. If y'all really want to screw with talk to text, start talking in Old English or Middle English.
Okay.
Let's see how well your talk to text handles that.
Probably not too well, I would imagine.
Art says I can kick my program's butt. Um, I just rewrite. I rewrite its ass. It took me a second to read that. My eyes are horrible today. Yeah, you can just rewrite it. That's true. If you can get into the
Mhm.
program and go for it, I promise you, that would be epic. I like I said, I got sick of Windows programming and just said, screw it. I'm going to Linux where I can do it without any headache or going to jail. I don't like the way a
Right.
certain program works. I can go in and change it without going to jail.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So it's been a fun week. It really has, especially some of the wild stuff that's happened at the houses and stuff. Just
Yeah.
in general,
It, we
we've had a fun
had,
week.
it's been I can't even right now, not feeling as good as I should. I kind of forget the timeline of everything that happened. I just remember, probably for me, the worst would have been when my hair was on edge. You know what I mean?
Your
When that
hair
happened.
everywhere was standing. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think the hair on my head was standing at attention because it was so freaking creepy.
You got
I
it was
mean,
like an electric shock. Your hair just went
uh,
out. You looked like that chick,
everything.
Frankenstein's bride, the bride of
Yep.
Frankenstein.
It was just so strange. Do you want to share some of that before we
Um,
get into?
yeah, I can, and if people want, I can share the video. But while we were recording, Well, actually, the first thing that
Well,
happened
you got to
was
give them, yeah, you got to give them a little bit of a backstory,
okay.
I think.
So even further back, so what kind of triggered all of this and started it off? I have a touch sensitive nightlight built into my electrical outlet for my computer and stuff to be plugged into at the wall. It is very much touch sensitive. You have to touch it to turn on the light through the three different stages. Well, at 2 something in the morning, it was cycling through on its own. No one touching it. I managed to record it. I'm thinking, well, if it's an electrical short, why didn't my computer kick off? Why didn't the phone stop charging during that point? Or what? Why weren't they flickering in and out from charging and stopping? I'm going through everything I can think of to logically explain it, and I can't come up with much. And then the next day, Dee and I are doing a recording, and a child's voice, I'm talking 4 years or less, a child's voice decides to chime in our conversation. And it is clear as day in the recording. There is no kids in my house that age, and Dee's grandbabies were nowhere near her. And the youngest one is too little to talk, and the oldest one is too old to sound like this. So it's and it's again something I mean I can go through my usual procedures of what I do in these circumstances. I've grown up with inexplicable things happening, things science can't explain, like the bottle of Benadryl sitting on the top of the TV on one side of the living room, flying across the room, bouncing off the wall and landing on the couch. Science does not explain that. Did I catch that on video? No, I wish I had. But I've grown up with this kind of stuff. I'm used to it. So now that I'm finally catching it on recordings and stuff, I'm like totally psyched. But I've got 2 videos that I can share on the Discord, or eventually I can share here if enough people want to see it. That it's just like, where did that come from? And again, the voice, we did not catch it during the recording. I only caught it when we went back to edit. I went into edit and I was listening through where to cut it so we would not have the, this, that, or the other. Let me grab my calendar. Let me look at this. You guys don't want to know about all that. So I go to cut that out and I hear this cute little kid's voice chime in like it's sitting right next to my microphone. I'm the only one on my bed. So we have some interesting stuff. I'd love for opinions that would scientifically disprove it. If there are thunderstorm conditions, electric static field can mess with touch controlled lights, but I don't rule out the unexplained since I seem to live with a dead monk. Yeah. And we were not in a thunderstorm. I will tell you, it was a clear night, no storms. But I've got video. I will share it. There is what looks like a person's head, but I have a kitchen trash can in my bedroom because I do throw a lot of things away and we empty it out and stuff. But it's sitting in front of this electric socket. So it's not like we can bump it. It's a good 3.5 feet from where I was recording it because I'm recording from the top of my bed. I've got my phone watching this and it's wild. So if you guys want, I'll post it up, and I'll post the clip of the kid's voice chiming in, because that is a long. Yeah, I don't want to post the whole video, but I will cut the segment down to where you guys can hear it. And if you want to see the whole beginning of the video before the part I showed you guys, I will gladly play it. I will link it up to YouTube, put it on unpublished, and drop the link into the Discord server so y'all can watch it. It's up to you guys how you want me to do this, but I'm telling you, I try to rule everything out scientifically before I say I don't know what the hell this is. Okay? I will do mental gymnastics like, maybe my breaker's going bad, but that still doesn't explain why my computer didn't shut off.
What time was this in the morning?
It was like
this 4?
It was like it was between 2:30 and 3 in the morning, and it cycled for a good 30 minutes. I only
Okay,
caught a
so
minute and 37
yeah,
seconds of it.
but that
Be-
was right. But
yeah,
that was for my time. So
yeah,
you and I going back and forth in the DMs.
yes.
I have I don't know what woke me up, or I think I was still up because of the dog. The dog needs pretty much round the clock care,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, we just happened to, I don't know,
But we
just
kind of laughed that one off. It wasn't until we
yeah,
heard the voice that I
right,
was like kind of going into what
right,
the F is really going
right,
on.
right,
And
yep.
I will tell you, we've had loaves of bread chucked across the room at my cousin. We've had pots and pans sound like they're falling down the stairs, and then when I go running, there's absolutely nothing there. I mean, just bizarre things. I mean, in the one video of the pots and pans, I think I still have it. You see my cats respond to the sound,
Mhm. Oh, wait,
and
I have to since you brought that up again, I have to do my nope, no, nada. Everybody just stay away wherever you're at. Nope, nada, just stay. And I mean, this went on probably once this stuff started. Nope, nada, go away.
every day.
Every day, every probably conversation that we had, uh, because then one thing led to another, and things from my end got repeated, and so we had to do the nope, nope, nada, uh, from this end
But
because of weird
yeah,
stuff.
you need to
It
start
was,
catching it on video if you can. Any weird stuff
yeah.
that happens at your place. Put like a security camera on it. Like I know you've said
Hmm.
that your TV controller likes to go missing randomly.
Hmm.
Maybe
And
put a video on it, a camera.
and since right since the baby's been here, I'm telling you, I thought I was have been losing my mind because stuff, the remote control disappears. His
Yes.
his pacifiers disappear, but then they reappear. I
Mm-hmm.
actually went out and bought. He has a total of 9 pacifiers. And do you know that there will be a time when there's not a one to be found?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not one. And then all of a sudden, then, like, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And the same with the remote control. The remote control disappears. I'm like, where is it? I'm looking everywhere for it because I need to change the channel for him. It's
Oh my God, Art, his car keys. He goes, nobody around me is angry, but they do like to move my car keys to places where I could never have put them, but they do leave them in plain sight. I had an incident where we always put our car keys on the TV stand when we would come in the living room. Somehow those keys ended up in the junk drawer in the kitchen.
hmm,
And I know I told you, D, and we were on the phone with another, in a voice group with another friend. We were at a
mm-hmm.
junkyard and we were calling my ex husband to hurry up because there were bees trying to get into me, and I'm highly allergic to bees. My mom was there, my kids were there. So we call him, his phone picks up, and all we hear is something saying my daughter's name over and over and over again. And so we finally hang up, and my ex husband comes out, and we're like, what the heck? We called you. Why were you only saying your daughter's name? He's like, I left my phone at home. We got home. I told him to wait on the porch. And I went to where he said his phone was on the dresser in the bedroom, and sure as shit, it was charging in there. Something in that house answered his phone, said my daughter's names a bunch of times. It showed his phone did not answer the call, but it showed on our end that his call did answer, and we talked for 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's the other thing that was on my phone. Uh, we weren't able to capture the call, and that's what we've got to do going forward.
Yeah,
Is
there
when
was
that.
it showed that in the Discord. It showed that I
Mm,
called D on her end. I
yep.
showed a missed call from D because she tried calling me back. And then I'm looking at it and I'm like, it only shows your call in me calling you back and then you calling me back again. And she's like, well, on my
Yep.
end, it showed 4. And then all of a sudden, that 4th one's missing.
Yep.
I'm like, you got to
It was.
start screenshotting this stuff. Collect the
Yeah.
evidence.
Yep. It was the strangest week last week.
It has been very weird what we are going through here. I don't know if it's maybe a moon cycle, solar flares acting up.
Yep.
I
Yep.
live a block
Planet.
away. Well, I live a block away from a Civil War era cemetery. It's still in use. They still bury people there routinely. My house was built in the 1940s. God knows what was here beforehand. I have the heavy boots stomping around upstairs. I have the kid flicking the bathroom hook lock. We get weird stuff going on, and I don't know what it is. His keys ended up in the utility room behind a bunch of stuff. It took me 15 to 20 minutes to move to get to them. The stuff had been in the utility room for several days. No way for me to put the keys there. Uh-huh. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm glad I'm not the only one who's had strange things happen.
Well, Art got to start the nope, not to stay away. Nope.
You could just get some white sage and burn it in every room. You just kind of go through and smudge the rooms, as it's called.
Right.
I find that a combination of different things can help. Like the last time I burned white sage in my room, it lasted for almost a year before we started having problems again. Was not having problems in my room because there was at one time my son and I were recording him playing Sonic, some Sonic game, and we heard a tapping on the mic like it was a mic check. And then it's like, this is bizarre. Again, it's something I didn't find until I went back and listened to the video. And again, the mic was sitting 3 foot away from me. My son is on one side of my twin size bed. I'm squeezed over to the other side. So one of us would have seen the other move to tap it. And it was while we were in the middle of a conversation that it tapped. Explain it away, please, folks. I'm desperate for any explanation that actually makes even the slightest bit of sense. I'll take the left-wing version of logic on how this would work, the equivalent. Right. But, yeah, I've had so many things in my life that are just inexplicable. And there was one of my first incidences, I was actually able to confirm what I saw was once a living person. So, yeah, I don't get scared because I'm used to it, but I don't like them interfering. Nobody around me scares me, but they all seem to have a sense of humor, probably a combination of family and friends. Yeah. And I know, like I said, I kind of grew up with this. And so for me, and I've been able to confirm two things I've seen were once living people. But I wish I had kept all the stuff I was able to find on them. I'll have to see if I can re-find it. We're talking from like 15, 20 years ago. So, it might have to be on my to-do list to see if I can re-find the evidence of the blacksmith in the kitchen in the first house I grew up in. And that one, lady that I saw in Walmart with half her head missing. That was a strange one. That was a really strange one. You walk around the aisle, and there's a person with half their head. And trust me, I put myself in therapy thinking I was crazy. Therapist is like, no, you're probably just really sensitive to spirits. And I'm like, skeptical at that point. But yeah.
Right at best.
Yeah, it took her a long time to convince me it wasn't crazy. It really did. And so, yeah, it's like, what can you do?
Just believe and go with it, I guess. That's all I do.
Well, I know, like I even was saying to our, you and the other friend the other night, you know, Bible says in the end times the dead will rise. It didn't say exactly how.
Right.
So, there's that option too.
We had I, oh, never mind. I'm going to keep that. Never mind. I'm not going to say anything about that. Anyway,
We should probably
again,
start our video because we're an hour
well,
in.
yeah, that's okay. But before we do that, I just want to say it again for those that are just joining. I am right now feel deathly ill. Crazy Bee's not feeling too swift, but I just have to express my disappointment in that I really thought that we would have stronger numbers than we did last week with doing the pre-recordings. We put a lot of time and effort into that, and it was like nobody listened or showed up, and I don't understand why. If we're going to take time off, would you guys prefer that we just don't do anything? Or do you want to see something? Because if you don't, it's a whole lot easier on the two of us. I mean, did you decide, oh, thank God I don't got to listen to them this week or what?
No one's forced to
Um,
listen to us in the first place. They're always free to not listen, is what gets me.
exactly right. And so, as a reminder, I have to have some infusions tomorrow and next week. So Crazy Bee and I already pre-recorded some shows for tomorrow and next week. Should we even play them? Or should we not
I
do
think it's
that?
worth doing anyways. At least we're consistent.
Right. I agree with that.
Whether people
And
watch it or not, I would think it's smart to do.
I agree. And that's one reason why we did it. I mean, was it that you didn't have enough notification or what? It's just
Oh, you
disappointing.
know what? 90% of it could have been is I stupidly, and I realized it only just now, I never shared it to the different social medias and on the different servers because I was so busy trying to catch up with everything else. Once I dropped them on the platforms, I forgot to share it out, the links on different various areas. I bet you it's my fault because I didn't share out the links on X and Pilled and Truth Social where I normally share them, and on the different servers where I share it too.
Well, if it is your fault, then I guess I got to get in the car.
Have at it. We could go out for coffee and you can join me when I go for all the future testing in the next, I don't know how long this testing's going to go for.
Exactly.
I'm aiming
There
for
you go.
Mondays, folks, but the doctor's kicking around two possible diagnoses. And if I'm not going to speak it into existence, I'm going to, very few people know what's going on. I'll announce it when we know for sure. Um, it's so I might be in for a lot of testing and specialists coming up in the very near future. Fingers crossed, put some prayers out. I just don't want to speak it into existence.
We both need some deep and heavy prayers. And uh, one of mine is my own fault. Because you would have thought that after spending 18 months in bed uh, for the injury, you would have thought that I would have done better. But nah, why would we? Right?
Well, that's like when the pain doctor asked why my shoulder keeps popping out, and I just said because I was too stupid to bother getting the surgery when I should have. The look on his
Uh-huh.
face was like a deer in the headlights.
Yeah, I think when you're chronically sick, chronically ill, there comes a point in time where you're just like, kind of like Jacob said, fuck it, right?
Yeah.
I didn't plan on swearing today, but that's kind of where position I've taken, and unfortunately, fuck it has got me into a little bit of a jackpot. So I suggest that you
Yeah.
don't, you know what I mean, that you do take your health seriously and you listen to what your doctors have to say, because I could be in a little bit of a jackpot right now. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, let's hope that that's not going to be the case. Uh,
Are added
but we,
in. For me, the thing to keep in mind is you don't know anything until they confirm it, but that doesn't make it easier to live with. Exactly.
that's
Which is,
correct.
and again, having a diagnosis would also mean they can actually treat it.
Yes.
But
Right.
I know what entails with both diagnoses he's kicking around.
Right.
And both very muchly bother me. Even though I
Mm-hmm.
know, again, after working in the medical field, I know what entails with both of them, including a
Yep.
friend who has one of them. And it's like, yeah, I'm just, you know how the logical brain says, oh, shut up, it's okay, you don't know until they do know, and there is treatment, versus the illogical brain that's like, oh my God, this is what could happen. And it's very
Exactly.
hard to get them to both shut the hell up and let me move on with life.
Right. And then and then you do shit like add the dying dog on top of it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
And taking care of a newborn baby.
correct. And well, luckily they were away. So, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you guys, man, it was so freaking nice not to have him.
You
It
needed that
was,
break.
I mean, it was just so nice not to have him. However, something dramatic happened yesterday with him, and that was I fell in love. So
He's getting his personality. He's
now
learning.
I love, yeah, now I love him, and it's, ugh, he got me, man.
Yes.
He got me fucking roped in. Now it's
Mm-hmm.
over. So, uh, I have tolerated him, I guess. I mean, I've loved, yeah, what's love anyway? But I fell in love with him yesterday, and it was on, and I was just like, oh my God, I love this child. But it was so nice not to have him the entire week last week. But with the dog, it's sad, very sad situation. We've had him a long time, and he's really sick and trying to get meds into him, and all of that, and that's been a nightmare. So, uh, to be home alone and not feeling good myself, why don't I just die along with the dog? I felt
Oh,
like I
don't
should,
do that, because then who am I going to
I
bring
know,
up
but
here to help with this?
I know, but I felt like I should be writing some kind of country song, like the dog is dying and so am I, and I don't
Pull out the
know.
banjo.
Yeah, like, I mean, it was just like a sad situation. You know what I mean? Like, and then, oh, and then the stupid stuff. I don't even care, Crazy B, about where we get started. How about when you were on the phone with me and Dippity Doo Walmart? What did they do? Oh, I didn't.
Oh,
Oh, did I
you
say?
talked
Oh
about that
no,
in some
I
of the
didn't.
recordings. Yes.
Oh yeah, I didn't mean to say their name, but oh well, such is life. Crazy B was on the phone with me when I saw them pull up to my son's house, and I had placed the order, and they refused to bring it down to my house. And it was my order.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy just,
And then the groceries had to sit for like a day and a
uh-huh,
half until your family got back to throw them out.
uh-huh. He left the entire order sitting on their porch. And so
And you even hollered,
I,
they're not going to be home. They're at camp.
well, here was the funniest thing. Oh gosh, I forgot about these two incidents. So I get a phone call at 10:44 one night. I forget which night. I guess that was Tuesday maybe. And it's EJ and Leslie. And I'm like, where are you guys? And they're like, well, we're in bed. And I'm like, so what's up? And I figured they're going to tell me some stupid story that happened up there. And they go, well, we need you to do us a favor. And I'm like, what? And they go, ah, we need you to go up and turn off the light to the goat. And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, EJ left the light on in the whatever, the shed for the goats, and all hundreds of bugs are going in there. They're attracted to the light from the shed. So the goats are going absolutely ballistic. They can see it on the camera, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't, you guys didn't even pull the card on for me to have. I'm like, what do you expect me to do? Walk up there? I said, I could probably walk and get up there, but I don't know about coming back, because coming back down, I'd probably wipe out at the one part of the hill where it goes straight and then it turns to my house. I don't think I could make the curve actually with the walker to be able to get to, come back from the house safely. So EJ had to come all the way back home the next day. And he brought the baby with him. And he had to take care of that and then turn around and go back. But the week prior to that, they come home and he opened up the door and he was like, okay, somebody broke in. He pulls out his weapon and he thinks somebody might be in the house or whatever. He tells everybody, stay back. And here he left the sliding door open the whole time. And do you want to know what entered the house?
What?
Dozens and dozens of centipedes. I
Oh,
said that
heck,
would have,
that'd be funny.
I'd be gone. I'd be like, well, when you get them out of the house, then maybe I'd consider coming back in. But I'm not coming back into the house while they're there.
Mm-hmm.
But they have had a crazed cardinal that keeps coming to the house and pecking at all of the windows. I mean, just not like it's a cardinal that sees itself in the glass and attacks itself. It is going randomly to various spots of the house, pecking on the window.
Mm-hmm.
So later on, I think it was 2 nights, I was laying in bed and I have windows that are above my bed. I hear this pecking on there, like tap, tap. And I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm like, whatever it is, get the hell out. If you're the cardinal, a spirit, whatever you are, just go. And I think I slept, 3 nights in a row or
Yeah.
something like that with the light on, because shit kept happening between them and you. I was like, uh-huh. Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else happened. Uh,
I know one of the earlier things that happened was shortly after the baby was born, you were using a pen to fill something out. You set it down on a
and,
desk to go get something, and when you turned back around, it was gone.
uh-huh.
The mini mic that you used to clip to your shirt,
Yeah.
MIA.
Uh-huh. Has
One
been
of the
gone as
two is missing.
correct. And and as I said, the pacifiers. And we
Yep.
always blame the cats.
I don't think it's the
I've
cats.
No, I've never seen the cat with one of them. You would have seen them on the floor or,
In a hiding
left
spot,
there.
behind the
Yeah.
couch, under the couch, something like
Nope.
that.
Yep. Nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and
Now, I've
then
had ferrets before, and they'll find, or they'll create a hole in the wall to hide things in, or they'll
okay.
find a little tuck away behind a cupboard or something, but you don't have ferrets, so I doubt it. Unless the cats
Ne-
are running down to the cellar in the
nope.
basement.
Nope. And then that led into the discussion with EJ that night. And they asked me probably 6 times, just teasing me, to go up and shut the light off to the goats. And that led into discussions about various things that have occurred throughout their childhood and blah blah. And I'm telling you, he had me scared shitless by the time I hung up the phone. In fact, so I don't want to go into too much detail, but suffice it, as far as my weaponry is concerned, we'll leave that subject for another day. But things were so bad that I slept 2 nights in a row, 3 with the lights on, 2 with the knife, because remember, I had
I'm
every
trying to remember.
yeah, remember everything was double, triple locked and all that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
okay, so wait. So I hear this boom upstairs, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And I mean, I was scared. I was like, uh-oh, somebody broke in upstairs. I mean, it was like somebody came in the bathroom and came in through the window and like hit the floor. And I'm like, somebody's in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what am I going to do now? So instead of grabbing the gun, why? I don't know. I grabbed the knife and I'm like, come down the steps. And I figured I'd stand in the kitchen. And if I had to, I would just, do what I had to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear, I'm standing there waiting, to hear somebody come down the steps. And instead I hear boom. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And I mean, I'm talking aloud like somebody has fallen. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm going up, right? So I go up
Mm-hmm.
for 2 days. Eric had left the cat locked in the bedroom, and the cat had been running and jumping and banging against the bedroom door to get let
Oh,
out.
no.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking like somebody had broken in.
Uh-huh.
However, he scared me still enough that I slept with that knife that night.
Well, then again, I
I
sleep with a 9 millimeter next to my bed and
Yeah,
three full spare clips.
yeah. I used to do that until Jake was born, and then that concerned me. So I was just getting ready to purchase one of those safes that you could put behind your like nightstand or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and you could either hit a number or use your fingerprint, and then it would, open up and your loaded weapon would be there. It just,
I'm looking at getting one of those magnetic gun holders,
hmm
um, and mounting it to my desk or my nightstand where I can just mount my gun magnetically to it because I don't have little kids in the house, so I'm not worried.
right,
I
right,
can understand why you would.
right. Well, right now things are such that it would be, uh, you know how I do one moment, please, while we're, trying to get technical support corrected. I would be somebody would come in and I'd be like, one moment, please. I have to get the bullets from here and the gun from over here and put the two together to, uh, make it operational. So I don't know why, but I have a strong sense of concern with those safes. Although I'm pretty sure that they're safe, you know.
Most like
With
I have a gun like a long gun safe, so for rifles, shotguns in my living room.
a lot. Okay.
And I keep my 410 and extra ammo and stuff stored in there, but my handgun and my extra magazines for it are always within arm's reach because I do live in an area where there are a lot of drug addicts and troublemakers. Even though it's a small town, it is such a small town that, you know, it has its own little area that we call Methville. And unfortunately, some of these people got out of Methville and now live down the road from me. So I still, and plus all the years of living outside of Detroit, I don't trust my neighbors really, no matter what. So I do keep my handgun within arm's reach at all times.
Mm-hmm.
With kids in the house, if you don't think the safe alone is enough, get a trigger lock and keep that key with you as in a separate place than the safe key, on a separate key ring or something, or in your purse at the bottom, somewhere where the kids are less likely to get it. Even if they get in the safe, they still can't play with the triggers.
That's a good idea. That's a real good idea.
That's one of the things I've done.
Yeah, I'd feel a lot better about that.
When my kids were younger, I kept a trigger lock on my gun, and I kept the ammo stored in a separate lockbox with a key hidden somewhere else. And that way the gun was stored unloaded. Yes, it took me longer to get the guns ready if someone did try to break in, but still the kids couldn't. It took them longer too. That's
Right.
kind of the whole point. It's taking longer for them to get it, so you're more likely to catch them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why I do what I do right now, you know, where they're separate, where it'd be like, 1 moment, please.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
you're breaking in? Give me 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Give me
right.
2 minutes. I got to open 2 separate safes, take off a key lock, load the 12 gauge, and then I'll greet you.
Right, right. If you think you could wait for 2 or, 1 minute and 57 seconds, then I'm down for that. But if not, then we have to go, hand to hand.
Art says my
Yeah.
pistol has its own backup pistol. Disadvantage to pilot training. I moved when I was meeting my neighbors in the middle of the night at gunpoint. Yep.
Oh.
Like the time some person was running around beating on all the windows and doors of my house. I hollered for the kids to get in the closet. I grabbed the 410, the 9mm, the 22 handgun, set them all on the coffee table, and stood where the back door and the front door could both be seen. I stood at the entrance of my hallway with the 410 and the 9mm in my pocket and the 22 on the coffee table, and everything was within reach. The 410 was the single shot warning, and the 9mm was the backup, and the 22 was in the event that I ran out of ammo for the 9mm. I'm telling you, if you don't have a home defense plan, you're asking for problems. If you do not know the entrance points and the strategies, not right now. I'm sorry. We're live. Sorry. Go sit in the living room or hide in the bathroom where it's colder.
No.
Sorry. He wants to turn on the fan, but it totally interferes because with OBS, it picks up every background noise really clearly. And I know there's a way to adjust it, but I haven't figured it out yet. So I have to keep all the fans off, and it is like scorching hot down here. We hit 105 yesterday, so... But
that's ridiculous.
Well, we spent most of that day in the car too.
Right.
But no, I always say whenever I move into a house, I look at all the strategy points.
Yep.
Anytime I walk into a building, I'm looking for exit points, possible entrance areas where people could do something stupid. I'm watching my back. I don't know what's going to happen. Especially with what happened where my dad goes shopping all the time in Traverse City, Walmart. My dad and my family go shopping there.
1 moment, please. That would be a good way to segue into some actual work today. Why don't we start with that story?
Okay, I can change up. I never downloaded it. Shoot. Okay, but I can open it in the browser. It's not on the to-do list today, but
I told you to put it on there yesterday.
I
This
know
is
you
number
did,
four.
but we're talking to me who was just got back from spending most of the day on the road in pain and
And
various
plus,
other things.
right, and plus you were on vacation all last week, so you forget how to work.
Uh-huh. Um, God bless it. I hate my hands. I really do. But yeah, let's actually get into work and I will add this in. Um, the article at least. You can see it, right, Dee?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So,
You
yeah.
you want to get the backstory, and then I'll read the article.
So, backstory is some crazy dude who was running from the cops, basically, decided he was going to stab 11 people in a middle of nowhere Walmart in Traverse City, Michigan. Um, oh, Art says D. She obviously never listens. LOL. I think that's a bit of an understatement today. Um,
Uh-huh.
I really think it is. Um, but
And what is the significance of Travers?
It is a tourist zone. They don't normally get crimes like this. You get your, I'm a drug addict, I want to get some stuff to pawn or hawk to get money for drugs or break in to steal someone's prescriptions. You get your crimes of passion. We
Yeah,
don't,
but what else?
they
There's
don't get
something
this
bigger
up there.
than that,
I'm
right?
sorry?
But there's something bigger than that, though.
Well, other than most of my family shops there.
Correct. So this is a legit. I mean, not that the other people aren't legit, but this is where your family, your dad in particular, spends a lot of time at doing his shopping.
Yes.
Your dad could have conceivably have been there at
My
this time.
dad's also a Navy vet who still chops wood by hand with an axe if he needs to and does a lot of physical manual labor. This guy would have gotten his ass beat if my dad had been there and he came at my dad.
Right.
Just saying. But yeah, I mean, it's just it blows my mind. And what's crazy is a lot of my family is anti-gun and they're the woke liberals. And
Mm-hmm.
this article right here is going to destroy their entire narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, we've been talking about this on my Discord server for a bit. The problem was he brought a knife to a gunfight. Glad it worked out. Yeah, well, the thing is, not a single shot was fired. So just, we'll get to that. Not a single shot was fired, and all 11 people who were stabbed did live. And it was a smaller knife. It was not like it was a big one. This is just a typical pocket knife. It was maybe 3-inch blade. Even though in Michigan you're allowed to carry up to 4 inches by law. And again, this is something I know very well because of living there most of my life. I know the gun laws and I know the knife laws. And so that's, I think, one of the main things that help people to be able to live is that it was a small blade. But if we go into this, there is the video of the former Marine holding him at gunpoint and a bunch of other men. Wow, where's all the women? Where's all the feminists standing their ground against these horrible men and the knife wielding guy? They don't need men to protect them. Where are the women? Do you see a woman in this crowd here?
Nah, nope, nada.
I don't see a single woman. I see a bunch of men of various ages who are going to be screaming at this guy to put the knife down, to drop it. And they held him until the cops showed up. It took
Right.
3 minutes between the call to 911 and the police arriving. In
You want to
total, I
play?
think it was a 5 or 6 minute attack. Yeah, I'll play it right now. Hold on. Here we go. Where's the women? and they're on with 911. Look at them. They ain't playing until the cops showed up.
Yep.
They were not playing. I gotta stop this before it starts the next video. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, an armed bystander had seen was seen on video holding him down till the cops got there. The man was identified by his family as Derek Perry. That is this guy right here. So yeah, this guy, very good. He was within his rights to shoot the guy. By the way, according to Michigan concealed carry laws, he was very much in his rights to have shot the guy because he was a deadly threat to others. But he managed to disarm the situation, get it under control until the cops showed up. He was within his rights. He could have just shot first, asked questions later, and it would have been justified. But he didn't. So kudos to this guy. I mean, absolute kudos. And so for all the white liberal women who are saying the black guys are oppressed and this, that, and the other, and guns are more danger than they are helpful, guns take more lives than they save, this entire article proves them wrong. And so much for toxic masculinity, because again, I didn't see a single woman go running to capture this guy. And according to some of the articles I've read, all the Walmart employees ran and hid and called 911. It just left people bleeding.
That's crazy.
And the suspect is 42. He was from Afton, Michigan. He has a long history of drug, alcohol problems. He is being charged with, he faces terrorism charges and 11 charges of assault with intent to murder. This is the guy who did the harm. So there's that. This is the knife. And again, I'm looking at this. This is granite. The veins in the granite usually aren't really ridiculously far apart, which makes me think it's like a little 3-inch blade. It's not that big, maybe smaller. And for all the people who keep calling it Traverse, Grand Traverse County and Traverse City, that's not how we pronounce it in Michigan. It's Traverse, just in case you didn't know. But yeah, this entire thing, I know a friend of mine on my server knows someone who left just 2 minutes before the stabbing started. I'll let you guys read it, but the gun rights, this is where the good guy with a gun whose courage deserves recognition. Understatement, which is why we're talking about it. This little article has nothing to do with this, but Perry's daughter replied to a post describing her father's heroic life-saving actions as a proud daughter moment. His daughter-in-law wrote in a separate post that Perry is a true hero. Wow. So for all the guns do more harm, guns are no good against anything. Yeah, they are. Yes, they are very much. And this man right here, Derek Perry, shout out, absolute wonderful man. Just a lot more people could have been seriously hurt or killed on this circumstance. And this other dude, yeah, lock his ass up. I'm sorry, I got to add so much commentary to this, but I will have the link to this one and the other one article in the description when we're done. Yeah, it blows my mind at how ridiculous that was. That this happened in a small city. This is not even a big city. This is a small city in Michigan. Oh, Dee, are you still there? Oh, yep, there you are. Okay.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just was going to say...
I was just listening, that's all. I thought you were still continuing. Sorry.
Well, I'm ranting because, I'm used to hearing about this kind of stuff in Detroit, not Traverse City, right, where, people don't do this. And here's the other article. The suspect is facing terrorism charges and stuff. People literally ran and hid. And oh, by the way, victims' ages were 29 to 84.
I just can't imagine. I mean, Crazy B and I had a discussion of being stabbed, and I had to have robotic surgery, and had 5 of the puncture stabbing things, as I call them. And in my opinion, that was worse than I have been cut open from stem to stern and side to side multiple times. And I would take that over any day of being stabbed in order to do a surgery. So I can't imagine being 84 years old and getting stabbed, or any of the ages and getting stabbed.
Well, the problem I have with knife attacks is by the time you realize something happened, the person's gone.
Yeah.
It is a very sneak attack thing.
Yeah. Okay. But what's the difference between I shoot you and just run away? That's even better. But
Well, because
still.
you see the gun, you hear the gun. You don't hear a knife. You don't always see a knife.
That's what I think they said happened, correct?
It was a sneak attack. There was no warning. I'm going to stab you or anything like that. Nothing was shouted. Just he went in and went at it.
Yeah.
And in a crowd, luckily this store isn't heavily crowded like going in a major city Walmart. This is like going into the Walmart down up at my closest city, 30 miles away. And, you know, there's maybe 300 people tops in there at any time. I mean, that's at max, including employees. You see maybe 300 people. It's not like you're standing in line for 20 minutes in a self-checkout or waiting for a cashier. This is you can get in and out relatively quick. It's not insane.
Right.
So,
and it's the kind of thing, once that occurs and people, you know, get injured or they scream out or cry or whatever, that person with that knife could be on the move and you don't even know it.
Yes.
That's the thing that I don't like.
It is. And some of these people were hit in the back. It wasn't even a face-on situation. This was in the back. No one was targeted. It was no targeted group. This was literally just random who they could get to.
Okay, well, what's his background? Is he a illegal? Is he
No, he was born and raised. They don't know of the motive. He was born and raised in Michigan, as far as they know. He'd been living there, I guess, all of his life.
Was he in drugs or alcohol?
He did have multiple charges against him. I'm trying to find his charges. It's in one of the articles I sent.
Did you show his face to the audience?
Right there. It's blurred. It's very pixelated. I hate that. But that's him. Don't know of the religious or ethnic background. Don't know of the motive. It could just be he was nuts. He has been charged with public intoxication, misdemeanor assault and battery, misdemeanor aggravated assault, drug possession, assault with a dangerous weapon, a charge of malicious destructions of tombs and memorials. Was dismissed after he was found incompetent to stand trial. So that states that there is some mental illness or a cognitive disorder in place. That he was not able to stand trial for destruction of tombs and memorials. That means he went into a graveyard or a cemetery, whatever you want to call it, and started destroying things.
Wow.
Yeah. So obviously there is going to be a Monday court hearing.
Was that the same day, Crazy B?
No, this is over his time, over his life, I guess.
Oh, gotcha.
He has a lengthy criminal history in the state of Michigan. There was a court hearing, at a court hearing on Monday, so this has been interrupted because yesterday was Monday. It had to be interrupted by the defense attorney and the judge multiple times when he started talking out alleged conspiracies. So he was a bit of a crazy dude. The lawyer assigned to work with Giles, Janet Mistel, had to cut him off when he started. Anyway, I saw a black and a white video on the internet about psychotropic drugs. um,
Okay.
a magistrate judge, Tammy Rogers, muted Giles' microphone when he began talking about supposed sale of cigarettes containing fiberglass and chemicals just to kill off this population. Wow. Yeah, dude is a little on the cuckoo side. Um, he had 2 prior assault convictions, a history of mental illness, including involuntary hospitalizations. Yes. Okay, so dude was absolutely unstable. This has been updated, I guess, since I sent it to you. I think, when was this last updated? Because oh no, I sent it to you yesterday night, didn't I?
Yes, you
Um,
did.
this was updated July 28th at 5:43 p.m.
Okay.
The original was at 9 in the morning, and then they updated it in the evening. So, yeah, this is the guy who took everyone out.
The
And
status. What's the status on the victims?
um, there was I'm going off the top of my head because I can't remember where I found the article. I didn't save it. Stupid me. Um, there were 5 that were in stable condition. Um, 2 were sent to a different hospital, and then a few were even treated and sent home that day. The difference was treated and sent home the same day. So, again, like I said, I don't know the exact details of all of it, but yeah.
Did you make some? Yeah. But at least he didn't kill anybody. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody died.
Nobody died. There were 2 serious that obviously needed surgery and a lot more care. Most people were just stitched up or, packed and bandaged and then sent on their way. A couple were hospitalized, but didn't
Okay.
have to be transported. They were all at Munson Hospital, which I have gone to for an injury before as a teenager. A lot of my
Wow.
family has been in and out of Munson Hospital. And Art says he's the poster child for involuntary commitment on a long term basis. Yes, but they closed down all the mental facilities for long term basis. It has to be voluntary, or the state steps in and handles it from there, but they don't do that a lot. They don't like to do that.
Hmm.
So, yeah, we got that going on. And I know we had one other major topic you wanted to cover. Um, that is the fire thing out in
Yes.
California.
Hmm.
So let me close that and we can just kind of segue into this.
Yeah,
Um,
and I want to say that often, well, not oftentimes, I want to say at least 5 times, maybe 6 times, we've had a story before anybody else has. And we just can't get to everything on a,
right away basis.
right away basis. We have things that we pick that we're going to cover. And so the following story that I'm going to tell you about is a story that we've had sitting for 10 days that we've been unable to get to that we planned on covering this week. But I had to laugh because all of a sudden, well, I wasn't laughing. I was quite upset. All the big names and everybody finally had the story out and about. And it's not even like anybody would have paid attention to us anyway because we're so small. Nobody even really listens to us even when we're away. Uh, but it was just knowing that we have info sometimes sitting there. What we decided to do was if we feel it's really something important, we're going to pull it and pull the story out. Just because we want to think that we're hot shit every once in a while, that's all. That's at least how I feel about it. I knew that this story was going to be big when I saw it, and I just didn't listen to myself. I'm like, yeah, I can sit there. And now all of a sudden, all the big names are out and about with it. But anyway, if you want to pop the story up, Crazy B.
Well, it's a quick video. Um,
Yeah, Theo. I
so
thought it was an article to go with it, but that's okay.
okay, yeah, I just saw the video. Because it was on
Okay,
YouTube, so it was a
okay,
YouTube download that I had to use.
go ahead.
Superstar Jelly Roll, just one of the big names who took the stage for FireAid, that star-studded concert that raised $100 million for wildfire victims. But where did all that money go? Investigative journalist Sue Pasco has been digging for answers, and what she's discovered might just surprise you. And Sue Pasco, she joins me now live on set. You are the editor of Circling the News.
Yes.
We can clearly see that. Thanks for the work that you're doing. So this is personal and professional for you because you lost your home in the Palisades fire. But that's not necessarily how this story landed in your lap. How did this all come to be?
A reader sent me a little note and said, I've never seen any FireAid money. How do I apply for FireAid money? And I thought, well, I've never thought about that. There's 12,000 people, basically 12,000 homes gone. Those people probably want to know where the money is. This will be an easy task to find out. So I contacted the Annenberg. They never responded.
And the Annenberg is
Foundation, because they are overseeing the wildfire funds, yes. So I emailed them several times. They never responded. I called them several times. They never responded. And finally, it was like almost 2 weeks later, a woman got back to me and she said, oh, I'm sorry for the delay. The person you need to speak to is Chris Wallace. He's a media spokesperson for wildfire funds. So I contacted Chris and I said, victims want to know when they can get their money. Seems like a very simple question. He said, basically, they don't. All this money are going to nonprofits, and then nonprofits will take care of making sure the money's distributed. So I looked at initially they gave $50 million to about 120 nonprofits. And I looked at these nonprofits, and one of them said, we help mobile home parks. And there were 2 mobile home parks in the Palisades, all low income. And so I contacted the people there. They had never received any money. They had never heard of that. When you go through, I would urge everyone to just go to the nonprofits that are listed if you want a good laugh. I mean, one of the nonprofits cleans preschool bathrooms. Well, after the fire, who knows? Maybe there is a preschool bathroom that needs cleaning.
Yeah. In other words, a lot of these nonprofits are ancillary, if you will.
That's a nice way of saying it.
And you urge people, our viewers, they can go on the FireAid website. And yes, in terms of if you're FireAid, you can say, we have listed all the nonprofits. So they've given out $75 million so far. And you can see for yourself each nonprofit that has received money. The vetting process, though, that's an interesting angle to this story as well, because there's still another round of funding that will be given out. If you're a nonprofit, you would just have to fill out a simple, very simple questionnaire. 6 questions. So what do you make of the vetting process?
I think they're not helping the victims at all. Let's just say, and the other thing you should know, if you go on there, they don't say how much each individual nonprofit gets. So there are 2 nonprofits that are for the homeless people in the Palisades, Los Angeles in general, that they're getting money from LASA. So why are these nonprofits also getting money from FireAid? I don't know. They're homeless nonprofits. Of course, we're all homeless now, but
and to be clear, we have reached out to actually the Attorney General, Rob Bonta, to see if this is on his radar, because this is a whole lot of money and you are well connected in your community and you don't know anybody who has received FireAid money.
That's correct.
So what is your advice if you're a victim, and there are several who are probably watching tonight who lost their home like yourself, where do you go from here?
hopefully with people like you who are bringing it to the attention of America, really, because we have all these people I know in the Midwest where I'm from who said, we want to give money, where do we give it? How can we help the people? This FireAid money is not helping the people. It's helping nonprofits, many of them who have executives that are getting a six-figure salary. The money is not going to the victims that you wanted the money to go to.
Yeah, you make a great point, because a lot of people, this was an international story, and a lot of people gave, people who really couldn't afford to give money, they had
They
big
sent their
hearts.
$20,
Right.
yes. They
And
said,
where's that money going, right?
exactly.
All right, well, if you want to follow Sue's reporting, you can do so. Again, this is at circlingthenews.com. Sue Pasco, sorry that you lost your home. Hopefully you see some of this money and your neighbors do too. Thank you so much for being here tonight and shedding light on this.
Thank you.
All right, Alex, over to you.
Yeah, this is why I never donate direct. I only donate directly. I don't donate to these other
Well,
places.
and here's the issue that I am now taking umbrage to is listening to this is I've always donated directly to the nonprofit itself, but
Mm-hmm.
it appears to be that, they're getting a little wonky in not being able to distribute funds. So how does someone go about seeing that their monies get to the aid victims? And I guess what? That would be going directly to the people at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And who the heck can you possibly trust?
No
I mean,
one.
this exactly, it's absurd.
Yeah.
In this story, $100 million that's to go to the fire victims is not getting there.
Mm-hmm. It's not right.
So no, I I really don't know what to say about it. How do we make a change in this? Uh, and all the big names that were out there, they're just, saying exactly the same thing the crazy B and I are saying.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? How do you do it? They're taking the money from them, blah, blah, blah. But what you counted on a nonprofit, and then you here's a nonprofit was to do nothing but preschool bathrooms. Seriously,
That
come
makes no
on.
sense.
It doesn't at all. At all.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a when we got the story, it was a frustrating story, and I think the biggest thing for our audience is, and we have said this before, and we'll say it again. Whenever you're going to make a donation to anybody, I don't care who it is, to to a church group, down through if you think you want to contribute to BLM, please go out and check on the charity.org website. You can find information out, a lot of info, sometimes not, but usually a lot of info of how much they're paying their board of directors. Like maybe,
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember, is it the top 7 or top 5 people in the organization? But, when you see that a CEO is making $2 million, but yet they're in like 2.4, well, you need to question where's that 4 going and why is that executive getting the 2 million?
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, as we said, our recommendation is to always skip them as the middleman and go directly to a particular organization. But even with that being said, you have to worry about, is your money going to get there or isn't it? That's what
Exactly.
that's what I don't like about it.
Mm-hmm.
Or an organization can take it. Many organizations, when you donate, in the fine print, it says, we can do whatever we want with this money, funding wise. And they may use it for programming, other programming or something that's within their own building. And that's the kind of stuff that I kind of don't like. Because if I'm going to do whatever to somebody, I want that money to go to them for that aid,
Yeah.
for the fire victims. I want them to get the money, nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see that, but obviously that's not occurring. So, all right, what do we got next?
We got enough time to cover this article because I got to go get x-rays and blood work done.
Okay,
So
we'll
we will
scroll.
cover this and then when we're done, I got to get out of here.
Oh, all right, do you need to book now or you want to go
Oh
now?
no, I've still got a few minutes. So
Okay.
we can read
All right.
through this.
Okay, so this is from July the 19th, and this is Congress approves public media and foreign aid cuts. What you want to know. And I read just recently some additional information that everything did get passed and is well on its way to being dismantled. So Congress this week approved a bill that claws back about $9 billion in foreign aid and public broadcasting funds as Republicans look to begin looking into cuts pursued by his Department of Government Efficiency, also known as DOGE. The package includes about $8 billion in cuts for the United States Agency for International Development, USAID. Hooray, hooray, hooray.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, finally. And other foreign aid, as well as more than $1 billion in cuts to the Corporate of Public Broadcasting, CBP, which provides some funding to NPR and PBS. Here are the 5 things to know about the bill. Before we go on there real quick, Crazy B, scroll back up there 1 second, please.
How far?
Right there, we're good. In the package deal with the USAID, one of the theories out there is that this money was being used and funneled to the news organizations, as well as things such as the what do we want to call those evening stupid shows?
Oh, the late night
With
shows and stuff. The
Thank
late
you. Yes,
shows.
the late shows, including The View, some of the late shows, and so some of the things that you see that are being canceled, they're stating that those cancellations are attributed to the fact that they're no longer receiving the USAID monies. Now,
And they're
that's
not bringing in enough views to make it, they're losing money on that as well.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Now, the thing with that, I'll say, is that that's not a confirmation. That's some type of,
It's a
we'll say,
rumor.
it's a rumor or a working theory, but it's my opinion that if we had a forensic account go in there, that they would find it. At least that's what my personal belief, that I'd like to hold on to that. So that we're seeing a lot of, with the money gone from USAID, we're seeing a lot of ripples and cancellations in other areas. And do the two mesh or don't they? That's the question.
Yep.
So go ahead, scroll down, Crazy B. And the 5 things that we want to know is NPR and PBS brace for cuts. And with PBS, I'm going to tell you what. With the baby, as I've started to get back into Sesame Street, I've been out of it since, Jake's, for the last 5 years. And when I saw what I saw, I was so taken aback. They need to have a cut.
It's
There were
appalling.
Yes, there were 3 French horns that came out dancing, and they were wearing dresses.
Yeah.
And then the guy that was dressed up in the Christmas tinsel outfit with the blinking lights and all of that, well, let me tell you, that left a lot to be desired.
Mm-hmm.
So the bill yanks back more than $1 billion in advanced funding appropriated for CBP over fiscal years 2026 and 2027. Many Republicans say the cuts are long overdue, singling out NPR and PBS for what they perceive as political bias. But some are concerned about how the cuts would impact smaller stations. In the previous fiscal year, NPR received upwards of $13 million from CBP, the corporation grants and allocations data shows. More than $70 million went to PBS, based in Arlington. About 1% of NPR's current operating budget comes directly from the federal government, compared to 15% from PBS, multiple outlets report. At the same time, however, fees from member stations, which rely on a larger share of CBP funding on average, make up about 30% of NPR's funding. PBS, it also receives annual programming dues from stations to carry national programming. About 35% of the annual funding for PBS NewsHour, the organization said, comes from CBP and national programming funds it describes as a combination of CBP appropriation funds and annual programming dues paid to PBS by stations reallocated to programs like ours. Public media faces fiscal cliff in October. Opponents of the cuts have already sounded alarm about the fiscal cliff that some stations will face as a result of the latest legislation come October, the start of fiscal year 2026. It is a cliff, Representative Rosa DeLauro, Connecticut, the top Democrat on the House Appropriations Committee, told The Hill Thursday. They're already speaking about it, frightened to death, particularly in rural communities, that they're not going to have access to important information or alerts about weather because they're not in communities where there are multiple sources of information. In a statement responding to passage of the cuts on Friday, CBP President Patricia Harrison said, many local public radio and television stations will be forced to shut down. Cutting federal funding could also put Americans at risk of losing national and local emergency alerts that serve as a lifeline to many Americans in the time of severe needs, Harrison also said. Senators on both sides of the aisle have raised similar concerns. Do you scroll up?
I'm
Thank
working
you.
on it.
Mm-hmm. Senator Amy Klobuchar, Democrat of Minnesota, said at the Hill National Summit on Wednesday that the cuts could put rural radio stations in her home state out of business, calling them the lifeblood of these communities when it comes to emergency alerts. Senator Lisa Murkowski, Alaska, also known as a rhino, one of the 2 Republicans in the upper chamber to vote against the bill, pointed to a recent earthquake in her home state. 7.3 magnitude earthquake off of Alaska and tsunami warnings. You know how I got this information? From public broadcasting, she said on the Senate floor. Why don't I believe that?
I don't either. It's probably an alert
Uh-huh.
on her phone.
Uh-huh. Less than 5% of the nonprofit corporation's funding goes towards its operations, while more than 70% goes directly to local public media stations, CBP states on its website. and almost half of its total 544 radio and TV guarantees are considered rural. However, many Republicans have downplayed the cut. There are so many means for communication now that have we didn't have in the 1960s. Everyone has it on their phone, Representative Mark Alford, Republican Missouri, told The Hill this week. Everyone pretty much has a smartphone, even in rural districts that I represent. There's all types of access for information that we didn't have in the 1960s. I don't think the American taxpayer should be funding journalism. Alfred, who is also a former television news anchor, also said while arguing there's a liberal progressive bent towards NPR and PBS.
Whoops. There we are.
Would you scroll up? Okay, thank you. I apologize about the delay there. I'll try to give it a minute.
Yeah,
The
it
request
happens.
the request initially sent by the White House called for $8.3 billion in cuts to USAID and other foreign aid, but the White House ended up agreeing to exempt the president's emergency plan for AIDS relief, PEPFAR, which was established under former President George W. Bush in 2003 and totaled about $400 million after those cuts became a critical point of contention for moderate GOP lawmakers. The administration
Oops,
said
sorry.
the bill That's okay. The administration said the bill targets items like migration and refugee assistance that could be more fairly shared with non-U.S. government donors. USAID efforts, officials say, that have been used to fund radical gender and climate projects and development assistance, they argued, conflict with American values and interfere with the sovereignty of other countries, among other rescissions.
I think they rescissions.
Rescission. Yes. Republicans in both chambers have overwhelmingly cheered the cuts, but a few have also voiced concerns about the proposal in recent weeks, sounding alarm over what they see as a lack of information about the accounts being targeted. Senate Appropriations Chair Susan Collins, R. Maine, also another rhino, specifically singled out a proposed $2.5 billion in cuts to the development assistance account. She noted in a statement that the account covers everything from basic education to water and sanitation to food security, but said lawmakers still lacked key details as to how those programs would be affected. More cuts could be coming. Republicans see the bill as a critical test run for the party, as Trump administration officials have already indicated they aim to send multiple special requests to Congress to claw back more funding if the first package makes it through. White House Budget Chief Russell Vought said Thursday that another rescissions package is likely to come soon, though he stopped short of offering specifics as to what programs could be on the chopping block. Have nothing to announce, but we've been talking about it, and there's certainly an enthusiasm, although Vought said, I spent a good hour with Senate Republicans. There is still a great enthusiasm for these rescissions. Why am I having difficulty? Let's put that in the problem pile. Bills, because Congress wants to be a part of voting for these cuts and making them permanent. Hardline conservatives have ramped up calls in recent months for the president to use the rare rescissions tool, which unlocks a process that Republicans can use to secure funding cuts with GOP-only votes as the party looks to codify DOGE cuts amid legal challenges over the administration's efforts to reshape the federal government. Implications for September 30th. Fewer than 20 legislative days stand between Congress and a looming September 30 deadline to prevent a government shutdown. Both chambers are running behind and marking up and pushing their annual funding bills across the floor, increasing the likelihood Congress will have to resort to stopgap measures to keep lights on and buy time for lawmakers to finish their funding work. Come on now, are you serious?
Of course.
This is what, you know what I mean? Like, really?
Yeah, I do.
This makes me so angry. They are off so much. This is when I'm like, get your ass in your seat, stay there until the work is done.
Yep.
But no, we're gonna go back to another push and another rush job. That just kills me.
I know.
Senate Democrats have already warned the passage of the recent package threatens already fragile bipartisan funding talks. And some Republicans are also eager to begin shifting more focus to crafting and approving new funding levels for fiscal 2026. Asked about the administration's plans to send Congress additional requests for cuts, Murkowski, a senior GOP appropriator, said, "I do not think that should be our path. It is not legislating. It's basically the White House seeing this is what
we want.
Okay, let me try that again. Jeez, it is not legislating. It's basically the White House saying, this is what we want you to do. Take it or leave it, she told reporters this week.
I'm not opposed to it. Oh, that's the end of that article. I want to see some of these cuts.
Yes, so do I. I mean, the stuff that's on PBS is absolutely ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And the news hour, whatever they want to call it, has become so politicized that it is not a bipartisan in any way.
Yeah.
If it is totally left leaning. So I'm not sure that the United States government should be funding those types of programs.
I absolutely agree.
Why would we? I don't care if you're on the left or the right. I mean, obviously the left has enjoyed, that run for many, many years. But, and I think you and I talked about this, Crazy Bee, was how many Republicans were there that did things of this nature, that were the reporters or whatever, it was a news hour, and we had struggled to come up with it. I think we came up with possibly a few, but not as significant as what we see on the left.
Yeah.
And with the change to Sesame Street had the drag queen was in there.
I know.
The whole gamut.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just go on now. I mean, it's absolutely appalling.
It is. It is 100% unacceptably appalling. And yet, it still keeps happening.
Mm-hmm. And I don't care if you're into that. If you like that kind of thing, that's fine. Take that somewhere else. It does not belong in children's programming.
No, it don't. I think that's one of the biggest problems I have with it, too.
Yeah. I don't care what you do behind closed doors. I don't care what you do as an adult or something in higher education, perhaps. That's a
Mm-hmm.
perhaps, but it shouldn't be from our children who are growing up uh, and are vulnerable to this type of stuff.
No, it shouldn't. And I absolutely agree with you on that one.
So, other than that, I guess we'll call it a day then. Crazy Bee has things to do.
I
Don't
have an
forget,
appointment to get. I have
uh,
blood work and X-rays I need to get to.
there you go. And tomorrow I'll be having an infusion. So, we have a pre recorded video for tomorrow. And we will be back live on Thursday. And just to let you know, you may see some more pre recorded things from us only because we want to provide you guys with content, but we both are going to be dealing with some medical issues and, stuff happens. So appointments can't be scheduled necessarily when we want them to be. And, with that being said, tomorrow is a pre recorded day. We'll be back live on Thursday and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully feeling somewhat better.
Yes, fingers crossed with the
Yeah,
feeling better part, but I make no promises.
correct. Neither do I. And more, when I ask Crazy Bee how she is and she says I'm alive, I think I might be stealing that from her and using that. I'm alive, you know.
Uh huh.
And anyway, I'm done then and I'm out for this evening. Everybody have a good night. I'm glad to be back. We missed you. And
Yes. I like the
it
system with the OBS. Um, actually, the way we're running this, I'm sorry, I was playing with the live chat. I was able to set up a purple background so it's not clear against when we have the white articles because the text of the chat is going to be white. And
right.
so I put like an opaque lavender purple type color as the background. It's so you can still see the text, but you can also see that there's an article behind it. So I was playing with that while you were reading the news article because I'm like, I can't read the chat up there. No one can read the chat because it's white text with a white background from the screen. So I was able to get into the system and change the background color to a purple towards the end of the video for
Oh
those
wow,
who yeah, this is what I do as I'm while we're talking is I'm also trying to make it better for us.
right.
So if you go back and replay the video towards the end, when you're reading the article, you'll see me playing with the chat while scrolling for you, and I changed the background color.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're very welcome.
So our colors, in case anybody noticed, are orange and purple. And so we play with that going back and forth. So,
Yep. So
yep.
yep, that's so now everyone will be able to see the chat no matter what we have going on in the background, unless you know whatever. But I think it'll work no matter what because it's a pretty good color that's rarely used in videos. So,
Okay.
yep.
All right. That sounds like a plan. You have a good day tomorrow. And we probably won't have the opportunity to talk until Friday
Well, no, we
or
got
maybe,
Thursday.
Thursday. See how I'm already skipping a day?
Yes,
I
you
need
are.
help. I need help. All right, so that's because I don't feel good. I will talk to you then on Thursday probably.
More than likely.
All right, or
So,
tomorrow morning.
yep.
We'll fit something. All right, sounds like a plan, girl.
All
All
right.
right, I'll talk to you later, babe. Have a
All
good
right.
one.
Y'all have a good one. I'm going to go get this blood work and x rays done. I'll be home in about an hour or two.
And your usual outro is?
Stay safe, stay sane, stay sober. We'll catch y'all on the next one.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.